Hi, just in case to remind you, I thought I would put this out there, and I procrastinating doing a video on this because I have a whole bunch of commentary about this, and and I have strong opinions. Strong opinions where people may like and strong opinions where people might not like. But I have strong opinions about this, and they're not really good. But this is America, and I'm allowed to have opinions as follows. Hi, it's me again, and I'm back with strong opinions with my All American hat. Maybe I should change to my All American glasses. Yes, I have a flag up there, an All American flag up with my All American glasses. No, I'll just put the sunshades on. Yes, I am in a closet. Yes, that's where I am. And I'm coming to you, and you, and you, and you, with strong opinions. And I have commentary on that big statue that they decided to put up temporary. I think I heard it was supposed to be temporary in New York. And since this is some days after the said Juneteenth, which I don't celebrate, and I got to do another video on about that too, because slavery never ended, and that's another form of propaganda being pushed. So much propaganda to keep the slave minds of the melanated ones enslaved, and they put images, negative images of black females, and they put one right in the middle of that. And the guy that did this statue, he was a black guy with a European accent, if not mistaken. Could be wrong, but if I'm not mistaken, it was a black guy with a European accent. And to have somebody that was not from America that puts this negative image of, and it had a chunky lady too, and it looked like an angry lady. Had to make it look like she was angry, and that's the image they have. Some of them have black females, and that's why we've been having trouble. See, I heard, not just black females having trouble, white ladies, some of the white ladies having trouble getting spouses as well. I'll come across some in situations. But unfortunately, that's the image in people's minds of the black female. And that image, that evil image that they want us. And to add, that black female, she's probably bisexual too, because they have to put that, you have to put her from the alphabet group, because they can't have a straight heterosexual black female that's not angry. I mean, melanated ones, that's not angry. Now, anything I'm gonna be angry about is angry about the image that they've put in front of foreigners about some of the black females and American guys as well. We ain't all that like that. And that image of that wretched evil. And I just seen a video. I might put it in the description. I don't know. But a lady originally from Bahamas, a melanated one originally from Bahamas, and I think called Bahama Gail. Anyway, she has a YouTube channel, and she's trying to explain that image that people have us of wretchedness, and that we're not all that way. And ever since that situation at the place of my employment, with the remainder one at the place of my employment, gotta say it like this: at the place of my employment, like put your hand like that, at the place of my employment. I had to take an inventory of me, of how I present myself. Am I, because they, they had to look as though we're rebellious, that we don't listen. That's a image that's portrayed, and sometimes people don't want to listen, even if we're telling the truth. That people don't want to listen to us. And I can be telling people the truth, and telling them and giving them a message. And because of this evil message of that they have of the melanated females, an example, sitting up in the middle of New York. I heard it's supposed to have been temporary. They probably keep it up because she's got to be representative of the alphabet community, because they use this month, the month of June 2025, which I'm doing this video. And I just got finished peeping that they showed a clip from the real Dana when she had Judge Joe Brown on there, and there's a little video from 2023 morning. The judge, he sometimes uses a little colorful in some of the language sometimes, but Judge be on point. And he's in his late 70s, so Judge ain't holding back. He's at the point where he tell you about the politicians and everybody, and he doesn't care. He doesn't hold back. You might not like what he's going to say, and some people might not like, oh, he's talking about so and so and so and so and so and so. You may not like it, but and one thing he brought out was this, they say about the alphabet cult. And they've been pushing so much on the color, and they want that degenerate, and they put that degenerate life, and they putting that lady in the middle of New York to represent a degenerate black female. Doesn't mean just because she's chunky. It's just some nice, good, chunky, size melanated females who are godly and are living, or a godly woman, and are out there doing the right thing, and living about their life. But there are some wretched individuals, and then there's the ones that play as females, as black females. And Bishop Woodens, he said some things, and I kind of agreed. I said he brought out the fact that Tyler Perry, by his image of being Medea, he's pushed things that people would not receive with RuPaul, because you know about RuPaul from back in the day. And he did what a lot of people wouldn't do. And see, a lot of people, they'll look at the transgender and the trans situations, would be against drag story out and all that. But they'll watch and laugh at the Medea movie. and I'm guilty of it too. I've had stuff, and we a lot of us, as especially some of us as Christians, we've been guilty of it, and I can admit I've laughed. I watched more than once of some of the movies and stuff and laughed, but I didn't really realize. I'm complaining about the feminization of the men. I'm complaining about this, but then I didn't realize how it seeped in. Stuff that seep in little leaven. That leaven the whole lump. Biblical term as little leaven the whole lump. And I'm like, how did this happen? Then there's and a lot of people don't realize how much feminization of the men that got pushed in. And people didn't seem to care how stuff was going through when Obama was president. None of you strong a lot of these black folks, which had a problem. Don't say I still support Obama if you realize that under his administration that he helped and people supported him after he supported with gay marriage and forcing people, taxing people if they couldn't afford health insurance. When the health insurance, that was when the places when he lost my support. Was when, because I was temporary. I still was I was casual, and insurance is, and then still for the longest still didn't have insurance even after I had become regular on the job. Insurance is expensive, even if it's under you. Even if you get it under with the job, it's kind of expensive, especially if you're single with no kids. They tax you as higher. But see, the thing, what people don't get it, they don't realize how many of us really would like to be married. And people say, oh, you like to travel. I'm like, yes. But why can't I just be with somebody, be with a guy that likes to travel like I do, that likes going to a road trip. Like, I'll hop in the car. I want to go to Georgia or, stuff like that, or Georgia or Florida or whatever the case may be. I'll get in the car. I'll hop in the car. I'll work 8 hours on my job and then tell them I can't stay overtime that time, and I will hop in my car or wherever, and drive 10 or 12 hours after working 8 hours on the job. And if there was somebody that had their own money, because I had some travel, but it's nice if a person has their own money that can pay their own way. Now, I help somebody out, different things like that. But I can't just pay for everything. I gotta have somebody that has their own money. And that black female in the middle, she probably representing black female. She probably don't travel, and then she travels. She probably gone with her girls and stuff. I don't have those female friends that I can just call and chat on and pray with as the time of this video. So all that image that you see of black females, she has some friends. I'm sure she has some friends that she talk to, and she talk about what's going on. That's why I post all that stuff on social media, because you need somebody to talk to. So because I didn't have somebody to talk to, I shared online, and sometimes I share a lot more than what the average person might share. But I'm sharing this now on this video because people need to know that there are plenty of people out there, godly women out there, willing to work together with a man, and and if he's short financially, she's willing to help. I'm willing to help if he need, help with the bills or whatever the case may be. As a significant other, that's provided we're married, or even when I was single, we go and hang out, we go to different places and stuff like that. But it's actually the responsibility. I seen just saw the video not too long ago. A comedian was doing commentary on a lady talking about going 50-50 with a man being half a man, and I'm like, it doesn't make you half a man if you helping a guy half on the bills. It's you're a female helping that man, but I question if this lady's even heterosexual. If she's talking about going 50% with a guy, I'm wondering if she's still. But the thing that I'm addressing, and it needs to be addressed on a large scale, the feminization of the man and more masculine of the woman. I'm a feminine woman, and people know me. Sometimes I might sound a certain way, but the truth of the matter is, the thing about it is, I've been wanting to be married and have children. Yes, give birth to children. But I'm at an age where, people don't usually have their children, their first child, over 40. And I say over 45, because I'm as the time of this video, 45. And I've been wanting children. I've been thinking about it for since I was, a kid. And I didn't get into a bunch of relationships with guys. And I, keep myself clean, keep myself from having a body count. And then I got these, and I see on social media, and I have to explain this to some of these happily married people that a lot of single women are single now, not because they were sleeping around when they were younger. Some of them did, and then they cleaned themselves up. A lot of women are single because they're not being found. And there are plenty of us out there, we're waiting. And they tell us we're not supposed to just approach the guy. We're not supposed to, because I've done some things and I've said things, talked to guys, and ever since that situation with the remainder one at the place of my employment, I gotta say it like this: at the place of my employment, I think hard on even to how I'm approaching a guy, even as a platonic way, because of that situation. And I don't know, will I ever end up getting enough close enough to a guy outside of the place of my employment, or will I ever get a chance to talk to a guy, or will ever get a chance to talk? Because I'm not as hopeful as a lot of ladies out there, because some of the ladies that hear from God, they realize that, I haven't been in a relationship, and I haven't been in a situation. And I want to tell this young lady who has a YouTube channel, Lala Jenkins, I'm like, Lala, I know you hear from God, but right now, people need to pray. They need to pray into this, because a lot of men have been feminized, and they're not even looking. And that image of that lady, that That disgusts me. That image of that lady in the middle of New York, and when they decided to put that up, and the lady did a commentary, and I think she might not have even been all quite conservative as much. And they shared some said a melanated one, and she wasn't too crazy about the lady. Of having an image of wretchedness, got hands on her hips, and like a lady that's disgusted, like angry, that's talks bad, that puts down the man. Yeah, somebody like that gives you drama, and I don't want that, and I don't want to be type of argumentative person. And I got into it with some time at work recently, young lady, and a lot of time we end up getting a dispute, and I don't have nothing against this young lady, and I say hi or speak, or it's just that I don't want to have that image of this wretchedness, because I want to pop out babies. I want to, and it's hard to explain to the foreigners at my place of my employment. They look at me like, oh, somebody will find you. You're a pretty young lady, and you're nice, and everything. Yeah, but you're not you're not from America, and you're considered more desirable because you're an immigrant. Some of you already have spouses, and some of you aren't even all these ladies aren't the best looking ladies, but they have spouses, and some of them have spouses and kids, and I don't know, maybe some of them had problems at home or whatever the case may be, but it's evil agenda out there, and I think that I really truly believe that pastors. Oh yeah, but a lot of the pastors have been feminized too. A lot of them are feminized. They can't put their finger on the fact that women are actually having trouble getting husbands because a lot of the men in the fellowships have been feminized. And I'm not talking about the guys that are actually on the down low or openly gay. I'm talking about the heterosexual guys. So some of them are actually feminized, and some of them are too soft, and I'm like, can somebody teach these men how to be masculine, how to look for a wife, not take so long to decide whether you want to be with a woman or not take so long whether you want to marry a woman or not, or or if she has, no, she shouldn't have to sell her property or whatever because you feel insecure that she has property and you don't. And I had to go there. You let her keep that property, or she can decide to rent out or whatever, or she keep that and she'll move in with you in the house, and she keep that property. Yeah, and she can make it as a side hustle or make that other income. And somebody will say, well, she should sell her property or her condo because you're going. I said, well, if she want to, if she don't, it's her prerogative. But this might be a turn off. No, I don't own, as of this video, I don't have any owning the property. I'm just renting. And actually, this video is being done in the closet of my apartment. Yeah. But it's just a serious issue. Yeah, because I moved, I had to get my place again. I was able to get in April of this year, 2025, with this video. But it's just that I just, that wretched female. Somebody need, now, you can tell a lot of conservatives been holding back. Now, if this would have been a liberal leaning or if that female was more of probably of a conservative, representing a more conservative, been ready to tear that down. Oh, part of me in me wants to tear that down. But because I'm a conservative, I'm a law-abiding person who wants to, law-abiding. We don't go around rioting and tearing down statues and stuff like that. We don't throw stuff at the cops or things like that. Like what's going on in California. I got to do a separate video about the little California situation. But, where the guy who, I don't know whoever is playing Newsom at the time. That's just my opinion. But I gotta leave it there because this video is longer than what I had planned it to be. And they do need to take down that statue if they haven't. Because I want to take something and just, but because I'm a good person we don't just go around tearing down statues. I'll just say, I just, want to put a petition out to have it removed because it's an evil image of a melanated female. And every time a guy thinks about some of these guys who are single, who think about wanting to hook up with a melanated American female like me, they think about the image of that statue. That statue is a piece of crap. I'll say it. I can't say the other word, but I call it it's a piece of crap. And that's an evil image of a Black American female. Oh, why does you say American? Because that's what they're representing, and they want us to be it. They want in that evil image of that evil image of that lady, that wretchedness, that degenerate, wretched image of a Black female, of a melanated one. And I will leave that there because this video is longer than what I wanted to plan it to be. Just take the statue down. We don't want it. Because some of us been wanting a husband and wanting babies. And then whenever I think about it, I think about this situation. And I keep getting reminded how guys look at me like I'm some wretched Black female because I'm from America, that I don't have values, that I don't want to get married. I don't want to settle down in a monogamous relationship. I don't want to be submissive because I'm a Black American female. That's the stuff that I see in that image of that female. Now, there's some guys that are controlling who want to be abusive. That's a different story. But I do respect the leadership as the guy leads, as he leads the relationship. He has to get things, not go against what God, something that God would want me to do. But we had to come into agreement. We had to work things out. Relationships can work out if people communicated. If people only communicated. Because You would say, oh, this makes me feel insecure, or this bothers me. This makes me feel insecure. And a guy can say that, should be able to say that. A woman could be able to say it. It's like, I've had so many things, bad things happen to me, or this happened to me, or the guy can say that happened to me. But I have to respect that you're trying to do the right thing. You have to be in a relationship with somebody that's actually trying to do the right thing. Not trying to steer you wrong. Because it just sometimes when I think about the image that they put in front of the world of especially the Black American female, that she's not wanted, that she's unmarriable, because all these crappy Black females who get online, who, especially the ones that the lady that was pissed off because the guy took her to the wing place or the chicken place or something like that, or took her somewhere that's not the best expensive place. I can take carry out. I can take Netflix and chill. I don't have my Netflix account anymore. I just have Amazon Prime. But that's the thing. All of us aren't like looking for this guy to just spend all this money on us like that. We're just like this simple. Some of us just like this simple life. Somebody that, guess go to a nice carry out or get some food, or we sit down in the car and talk, or watch a movie or something on the laptop or something like that, or a computer or something like that. I'm a simple person. You don't have to. And I like theme parks. I do like theme parks. I got some season pass, whatever, the season pass membership and season pass. I'm a simple person. I'm a conservative, more right leaning, and you can see some of my videos. But I care about people, and I'm going to tell you. And I got receipts. The last few years I've come across different people who, and I can debunk some of those. People call them conspiracy theories, and I can debunk that. People say, "Oh, that's a conspiracy theory." I've met people within the last few years. Oh, they had some interesting things. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about describing about that statue. But I'm going to leave that there. Hopefully somebody watched this video, or just at least listen to the audio of it. And I will leave that there. Please check in the description of this video. And somebody share my video. This video needs to go to some pastors, because I'm just disgusted of this image and how people act like it's some conspiracy theory that a lot of the men in the church, including the heterosexuals, have gotten feminized. Some of the females, certain ones are amount is masculine, but dang, all of us aren't masculine, and some of us are feminine, and we would really, really, really like to have a husband and be faithful. And some of us want to actually pop out babies. I've been wanting to pop out babies for years, but I work a lot of hours. I do overtime. Most of the time I do 2 hours, 4 or 5 days, at least 4 days a week. I do overtime. At least 2 hours overtime. It'd be nice if I didn't have to do all that overtime, and I get with a husband and we work together, and I have my business, and I have a wedding. I'm planning to do a production called The Wedding Recital. Oh, excuse me. At the time of this video, I'm planning to do a wedding recital. So look for it, and I'm looking to try to do that sometime July of this year, 2025. So some weeks from now, hopefully I will advertise it on here, and I advertise it, called the wedding recital. And it's not going to be free. It's going to cost a little, for admission or whatever the case may be. But it's called the wedding recital. It's like a poetry, like a production. But anyway, I needed my wedding, and I went to David's Bridal the other weekend. They got there's some nice wedding dresses. All of them aren't expensive. Some of them are pretty good price. Well, and they had some good evening gowns, and I'm planning my fashion show coming up too. But anyway, and I'm going to leave that there. Please share my video, because I'm tired of this image, this evil image, and they gotta address that this evil is going on. And people want to act like, ignore that women are having a hard time being found by a godly, masculine husband that's not abusive, that's not controlling, that really loves God. This really loves, really loves Jesus as a Christian. And it's hard because you'll have a nice masculine guy, but he doesn't want to go to church with you. He doesn't want to, wants nothing to do with anything biblical or anything like that. So you get those type of guys. You might get a nice guy, but then he doesn't want to go to church. He doesn't want to, support you and go to church or any fellowship or not like that. So that's bad too. If you're not on agreement. See, you got to be on agreement as far as faith. If you're a certain, just say you're a certain religion, you be with a guy of that certain faith. Not be with a guy. I can't hook up with a guy that's Muslim. Just like a Muslim can't hook up with a lady that's a guy and that's Christian, not hook up with a Muslim. Some of them might make it work. It depends, but and I've seen some good-looking Muslim guys, and not all of them are married. I'm just saying. No, I'm not marrying a Muslim. So, he's got to be has a fellowship that he's attending. Even if we're not going into the same fellowship, a regular fellowship that he's attending. But they need to take that statue down if they haven't already. Just knock it out just like they did the Black Lives Matter Plaza. And I had a video about that too on this channel. All right. I will leave that there. Please. And I might put this video and share it send it, the link to some pastors. Because they need to hear this message. Because I'm tired of these Christian leaders acting like, and especially some other Christians, single ones, I'm tired of them acting like we just have to wait on God, or we're waiting on God, and when his timing, he'll send a person for you. What if the guys aren't looking? Because a lot of them have been feminized. I don't buy all this. I'm waiting on Jesus, or Jesus is matching up somebody for me. I'm looking at the fact that people aren't even looking. Guys they're not even, a lot of people that got their heads on their phones and they don't know how to communicate. They can't. They have trouble communicating. And people can say, and a nice godly woman can say, I hear from God, or a guy can say, I can hear from God. But are you really looking? Are you really, I'm talking about mainly with the guy, or are they really looking? Because I'm tired of this. I'm tired of trying to explain to people at the church, that it's a problem, it's an issue, the feminization of men that's affecting a woman, a godly woman that loves Jesus, that's her ability to get a spouse. You can even go out, because I saw online talking to this lady, got herself together and talk about she don't go nowhere. I'm like, I go places. So you can't say you can go all you want to and go different places. I fellowshiped with different churches and go to different things, events and stuff like that. It's just that guys aren't looking. They aren't. And it's just hard. And I want to have hope that there's somebody out there for me. But after this situation at the place of my employment, this whole situation that happened a few years ago, and I still pray for this guy, I pray for this individual. He communicating, has communicated with me recently, but, I still, it's just imaging in my mind of how the guys are. They don't communicate with us. We can be the nice, godliest female, and then you got to be super. Some of us, to be for real, you got to be super, super quiet. You can't have no, cause situation with Candace Owens, like that. She's gotten married to a man and sort of conservative. I heard it's a European conservative, but she was one of the fortunate ones. She was able to be fortunate enough to get married and have babies under 40, get married and have babies under 40. I don't know how that is behind closed doors, but so far as I know, they were getting along and she's able to do, But a lot of us, our mindset is focused like Candace Owens. I think her last name is -Farmer. But anyway, but a lot of us are that, but have that are conservative, and we want to positive and have a good mind to make a difference in the world and not wretched. Have a mouth. I speak out my mind or wherever the case may be, but have a mouth, but have a good image and not wretched. And this video is longer than what I planned it to be. Hopefully somebody will watch it. I don't know, because it's already over 40 minutes, and a lot of people, they don't like to take time to watch or listen to audios or videos. They don't like it. I don't know. I don't know. I just would like somebody to listen. I'll listen to you. I just need people to listen and realize you need to pray for not just revival. People are praying for revival. You need to pray just as hard for revival and people coming to Christ or wherever the case may be. You need to pray about relationships and having strong men and women, masculine men and feminine women, that they can come together. And I want people that are together, that people can help make marriages work. Because I'm tired of this explaining. And I'm especially tired of having to explain to the foreigners about the status of what's going on in America. And it's probably going on in other countries too. I don't doubt that it's going on in other countries as well. That it's making it hard for women to get husbands because a lot of the men have been feminized. And I'm talking about the heterosexual ones. And if they aren't feminized or masculine, they're looking for something in return. And you know what I mean, something in return. That they don't want to just be with you and courtship with you without you giving it up. And I shouldn't have to give it up to keep a guy. Even if he's seem like a nice guy and he wants to do for a godly guy and or whatever, nice guy, seem like a nice guy who just doesn't want to be with me and he wants to marry me without me giving it up to him. It's sad reality of this world that it's hard to find a good, decent guy that's not controlling or abusive or wants to be in a monogamous relationship. Now, there's some wretched females who don't want to settle, don't want to, because they done exposed out that females are trying to do the side guy or whatever the case may be, and they evil too. And it's hard. So you need a miracle. We need a miracle here in America. Because people are having trouble getting spouses and having trouble of relationships really working and getting in a relationship where nobody's abusive or controlling or sleeping around or have somebody on the side or not in a monogamous relationship. So this needs to be brought out. And I'm going to have to speak publicly on this because everybody's not going to watch this video on YouTube or watch my video. Because I'm saying something that needs to be said. And it'd be really nice even if the current president or certain people who are politicians, certain godly conservative leaders could watch this video and reach out to me. Because I'm going to leave my P.O Box in the description. So, send a postcard or reach out to me. Because I'm tired of this. Tired of explaining to people that we're not like that lady that they got sitting in the middle of New York City. The evil image of the melanated woman, of the Black American female. That's wretched. That's evil. And I'll add, they might be bisexual too. Because they know they gotta push that agenda on black on folks. That's been their alternate thing they pushing on black people is the color agenda. That thing where they push that black females are, and some of them, if they're good looking like I am, believe I'm good looking, but that she might be bisexual. No, I had to explain that to an Asian lady at work. I'm not gay. I had to explain it to her. And I don't think she really wondered why I had to tell her. I said, no, maybe I led you on and I led you to think that maybe I was, because I was too nice. I was too nice to this and about it, and I don't think they understood. And I don't want you trying to pair me up with somebody either at work. No, you don't pair me up with nobody. Especially not the Muslim supervisor that's married with kids. Yes, I sad to say it. Because I'm just tired of this. Tired of explaining. And I had to explaining to people who are not from America. They don't understand. They don't get it. That a lot of the men in America, they don't communicate. They aren't looking at wives. They don't communicate with women. And we're not going to, all of us aren't just going to open our legs up for you unless we go down the aisle with you. That's simple as that. So if you're looking for the nookie before saying I do, just can't, all of us aren't that way. And you want to be abusive or be controlling, because it's a way of leading. There's a way of leading in a relationship, as a man leading in a relationship, in a marriage, than being controlling. There's two ways, because some men are controlling. Some men are abusive. And sometimes women are controlling. Sometimes women are abusive. And it's bad on both sides. So this video is longer than what I planned it to be. And I just hope somebody's just somewhere watches it or whether it takes time to listen to it, the audio. Because I'm tired of explaining this. And please pray for me. Because I'm tired of explaining to people. I don't want to. I'm like with this with God. I'm like, God, I don't want to be crushing on another guy and then another guy and another guy, and then I have to get over that guy and I got to get over that guy. And people say, well, if you were so focused on Jesus, you wouldn't have those feelings for these guys. I said, well, everybody doesn't get fortunate enough to encounter Jesus. I'm still waiting on the real encounter with the real Jesus of the Bible as of this video. I still haven't encountered him yet. Really, because there's a way that you encounter Jesus, that you're more at peace as being single. And even if people have encountered Jesus and have heard from him and have a deep relationship with him, and I'm not going to, and because I know the truth, what's going on, I used to did a certain amount of crying, but there's a certain amount of crying I stopped because I realized that it's an evil agenda out there, and it's affecting the body of Christ. The real remnant of God, the really good people, the people that's really living for God, living for Christ, that it's affecting us. This affecting everyone. And people just think, oh, God's not sending you because you're not ready. You're supposed to be married to him. Oh, I got something for y'all. I got the wedding recital. I got something for y'all. For all these people who want to talk and they want to, I got something. Oh, it's stuff coming. I got stuff for y'all because I'm going to say it. I'm going to say what a lot of other singles are afraid to say. Because they're afraid to talk about the struggle. They're afraid to tell people that because so many men have been feminized that they're not even looking. There's so many people who can't even communicate because their head is on the phone or on a device. Yes, I went there. Yes. You can't even communicate with people. They don't know how to talk to men. Don't know how to talk to women, and women don't know how to talk to men because their head is on the device. We got to train people how to communicate again. And that's sad. And ever since that situation at the place of my employment, I've shed some tears, and I don't know what to do at this point because I'm tired. I'm tired explaining to godly Holy Spirit filled believers that there's a crisis out there of women having trouble getting spouses. And some men are having trouble finding women. But it's more of us that are having trouble being found. Because a lot of the men have been feminized. Some of the women have become masculine. Some of them more. But more of us are more feminine than the women are masculine. And some women are just biological men. Yes, I said it. And prophetic couple, they already on their video, they already shared it. And already a guy recently, he got locked up. A guy, I think he was African, or African pastor. He found out got married and found out that who he thought was a woman. He was trying to save himself and not have relations till they be with her, be with him until they got married. But he didn't know that he was with a biological man. I don't know if it was the bottom surgery or whatever the case may be. Maybe the he didn't have the bottom surgery and he unalived him, and he got in trouble. He got caught, so he's has to go to jail. So you on prison, I say. But you have to. This has to be addressed because quite a bit of people a lot of females, a lot of the guys who are biological females, they think are biological females, but are biological men. Different people. And I can't get into that, but I got another video coming about that too. I gotta share some things because a lot of people think certain ones are, Michelle Obama. We've gotten into enough disputes over Michelle Obama being but they're reliable sources that already shared that. We're not gonna get in an argument, and you can see my video. I have a video on Rumble where I did screenshots. I put in where you put the search engine Michael LaVaughn Robinson, and what do you know? Michelle Obama's stuff came up. They don't hide it. They might have did something to the algorithm now where that doesn't come up, but but probably the people who you have the dispute with, they probably won't even go and put Michael LaVaughn Robinson in the search engine on their little phones or their computers, or they'll probably Google it. They won't even. I like to use the Yahoo search engine. They won't even try and DuckDuckGo. I'm just gonna leave that there because this video is about an hour, and it's been longer than I had planned it to be. They just need to take down that statue, and we really would like husbands, and I just all I can say. We really we would literally love to be married, and some of us still wanted babies and wanted to have babies and adopt babies. You have a whole. I had an image, even have an image right back of me, barefoot and pregnant, a wife. A wife that smiles with my stomach popping up out with a baby inside and maybe a couple of babies inside. Just out there, just pregnant and smiling at my husband and if it came possible, staying at home and we might homeschool the children and have a tutor or somebody to come in or, you know, on our close watch eye of that that will homeschool our children and just have a stuff set up like that. And we'd travel together and go on vacations together and stuff like that. And, I pop out little babies and I bring the little bit, while the baby's still small, we bring the baby, travel from place to place with the baby and it becomes more babies and more babies. And I'm just gonna leave that there. Because I wanted to be a wife that popped out babies. But I need that hope again. But American Christianity, the American Christianity, especially this American Christianity, this watered down Christianity, this Christianity that isn't pushing marriage and isn't, and this what, and I call this super extra spiritual Christianity says, I'm the bride of Christ and you need to know Jesus as your bridegroom. And if you knew Jesus as your bridegroom, you wouldn't be having problems as a single and wanting to be married. And a lot of these people who do these teachings like that, they have spouses. And if they don't have spouses, they have a community of strong Holy Ghost filled people around them to stand over them, to make sure they don't mess up downstairs, to make sure they aren't dilly-dallying. You see what I mean? Those people who teach on that bridal stuff and that image and that, quite a bit of them, if they're not married, they have good friends. They have strong parents. They have somebody over them strong enough to keep their self right, keep their mind right. They're in a strong environment with people that help them keep their mind right. Everybody doesn't have strong people to pray over them when they, as a single person or a person that's divorced or single. All people don't have strong, Holy Ghost filled people around. I don't have those people. I'm thankful for the pastors I'm under and the people that I come across through the night. But I don't have people close that I feel comfortable telling what I am telling. I had to do this video. Because people don't know. They don't realize the struggle. They think that you're just so hot downstairs. Some people are having trouble. It's because of this woke culture. And a lot of stuff seeped into the church. And then this over spiritual culture, Jesus is your bridegroom and you let him choose your spouse. I'm like, all the people, some of these people who get spouses, they're the fortunate ones. They're all super deep spiritual. I'm like, the people, I feel for the people that are in the fellowships right now, because it's hard. Because people aren't getting married and getting spouses like that. The people, the main people, you might get married if you're, in ministry, or, you had strong Holy Ghost filled parents that prayed you in and stand over you to keep you strong and help you get a spouse. But everybody's not that good. And everybody, and I'm talking about people who are American. I'm talking about two American people coming together. Not an immigrant. Two American people come together, and none of them are immigrants. I don't have nothing against an American person marrying an immigrant, but those are a lot of the people who I know who are getting spouses, and good spouses are immigrants. I'll say legal immigrants. So, yeah, because some people hear me say immigrant, they're thinking about they might be illegal, or they might be trying to come to their citizenship because they get a spouse. I'm talking about legal immigrants marrying godly, because a lot of these men, when they look for wives, some of them will end up marrying an immigrant, a legal one. I'm just saying a legal one. Because the image of the American female, not just melanated, the American female is wretched, like the females that's the image that's setting up in the middle of New York. I just give for somebody to listen to this video, because I'm tired of it. I'm tired of explaining to Americans and foreigners that it's a problem. That if I had a better chance, if I was an immigrant, a legal immigrant from another country, I had a better chance if I was an African, or maybe another from South America, or like an immigrant from another. But that's another story in itself. And I will leave that there.